Well, there's been several truckloads of sand moved in, as in several small Azra-sized truckloads of sand moved in. I guess to make more space for more stuff to be dumped, hence this truck. So I guess there'll be more truckloads from here to the back using Azra's little truck. But I think it's given the road a hard time. I don't know if you can make it out there, but it kind of looks like the road surface has been pushed down a bit by the load of the sand on Azra's truck. Here's the latest truckload that's been brought around from out the front, so couldn't stack much more on there. So no wonder it's stressing the road a bit. But yeah, if they dump the sand on top of those rocks, that'll make it awkward picking it up again later. It's early afternoon and sun is shining. I'd say we probably have about 20% cloud cover. So the batteries on the off-grid system at the house are fully charged already. And I won't be out here long, otherwise I'll end up with sunburned feet. The fact that there's a tarp over that back tank makes me inclined to think that maybe somebody has been doing tiling in there, which would be a good thing. And there's certainly been a bit more rendering on this front rain gutter. Some formwork's been removed, I can see at the far end from that upper beam. I'll need a bit of prettying up with some render. More of the formwork's been removed along the back here too. The sides of some of the sloping beams have been removed. The back side of the southern water gutter has been rendered. So that's coming along nicely. It's obviously siesta time. You get somebody over there having a snooze. But that wall's coming along nicely. And there's the start of the ring beam for along the top of a section of it. And the string lines are up for this section here. So I've got to go back the way I came to get out of here. I might be able to step over that, but I won't press my luck. So some of the formwork's come off. And I see they did use brickwork along the inner edge of the, I think that's the inner edge of the front rain gutter too. And a closer examination shows that formwork there is actually the formwork from this wall base. And there's good reason why everyone's hiding from the heat at the moment. I'm a damn fool being out here. So I think I'll go back where it's cool again. I saw this truck turn up with my crane rails. So you see four there, which are for the rails themselves, and the smaller one on top, and use that to build the cross bridge. And they are 6 metres long. There's a bit of fun getting that around the corner with the truck. So the wall continues, and creation of the strips to go on top also continues. Handing some mortar up to do with some work up top. That doesn't look good. Lots of concrete leaking out through the bearing, which was just replaced yesterday. No, that's not good. change this now. It's not leaking out there much. I don't understand. Now it's leaking out there again at a great rate. Well, it's time for end of day walk around. A lot of sand has been moved. Still a lot of rocky fill and rocks to be moved yet. But, oh well, I guess more of that will happen tomorrow. At least there's a clear pathway for a vehicle to get through it currently. Well, we have a pretty good sand mountain again. So I see a lot more concrete coming if that's the sand we're going to be using. We've got the start of the depth markers for the render on the front wall. So overall that wall's going to be pretty thick eventually. So more formwork has been stripped off, and a lot of it's ended up in the service pit. Lots left over bamboo which somebody's put a claim in for. It'll be recycled. So it's off the truck on the ground, and looking at that I'm wondering whether that's going to fit those fancy little bits we did for the supports. Could be interesting. Small formwork stripped off outside. So yeah. As the woodwork goes away, it'll start to reveal the building. The intent with that vertical step there is that running across the front of the building there will be a clear window. So it won't be a terribly tall one, but hopefully it'll let enough light in. But also there's enough overhang intended so there shouldn't be direct sunlight coming into the building. That'll just heat it up. So the state of the wall is east side's done, apart from the concrete columns and the ring beam on top, and then the rendering. So there's actually quite a bit more to be done. Got an interesting bit there. Sort of a crossover and rods there to act as a grate for things coming in. We got platforms to work on. But yeah, that's where we're at the end of the day. It's the morning walk around, about 9 AM. And deliveries keep coming. So we have more gravel, more rock. Not sure about the other stacks, but yeah, I'm not even sure where it's all supposed to go. But I think I'm just the funding part of the operation. More cement was delivered last night. The wall is progressing, as is formwork for the verticals by the look of it. We've got the start of it up post here. Not quite sure whether it's going to go higher, but oh well. But, yeah, progress is happening. I don't know whether that's the same reinforcement strip or a new one they're doing there. They use bits of formwork from inside which are being transported out and disposed of. I can see rice harvest going on in the distance. bits are backwards again. Shouldn't be doing that. Clean-up rendering going on up top. There's formwork being disassembled. Hopefully the nails will be removed from it before they become a hazard. Yeah, well, I can feel my feet starting to cook, so time to run away. The rice drying area over at the rice factory is getting a little bit of use. Hard men, hard at work. Yep. Yeah, it's the afternoon circuit, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And the hard workers are doing hard work. So the gravel pile's much diminished. And these are the guys why it's happened. It's hot and sunny, so there's more rice out for drying. As mentioned previously, formwork going up for the vertical columns. And more of the formwork and scaffolding is coming down. I'm thinking I probably should dig out my hard hat. Just looking at those steps on that sort of screen's too dark, I can't see if it's focused or not. Need that to be 10 centimetres wide because the those I-beams we've got for the rails are 20 centimetres by 10 centimetres. I'm not sure if that's 10 centimetres or not there. But we'll see. But yeah, it's hot and sunny. Particularly it is hot. My batteries are all fully charged. I think it's time to head for the AC again. Not a huge change from afternoon to end of day. A little bit more gravel's been moved. I've got the wall done up to the last two sections in the back of the building by the look of it. I wonder how that gutter up top is going. As I said, I'll never be able to have a look at that from up top. They're starting to strip away more of the woodwork, so it's revealing more of the building. And there's a second one of those reinforcement cages lying there, and a couple down here. And this is an interesting structure. They're actually using the bricks to make a solid corner here with the concrete reinforcement going to go down the middle. Let's see what else we can see. I'll go along this end and see what we can see from down here. Here I am at the current end of the canal, which is as far west as I've been here. So this little rice field here, this will become part of our orchard. I'll get some coconuts and hopefully some cocoa planted in here. I mentioned the cocoa previously. I want to have a go at making chocolate. But, yep, big building. Hope it turns out good. Well, we're largely stripped of formwork on the inside here now. A little bit there still. But I'll go and have a closer look at those ledges that the crane rails are supposed to go on. The idea is the crane rails are supposed to sit against the back edge of those shelves, the lower shelf, and be held away from the columns themselves by those upper projections. That's so that if we have, well, when we have the bridge across the top, it has pieces that reach over the back of the rails to the column side, so we can't go jamming those. But yeah, it's starting to look like a workspace. My toilet's getting rented. Oh, I'm starting to warm up, even though it's 6 o'clock, a bit later maybe. I'm starting to get a bit warm, so I might head back to the AC. Well, this morning walk around, and it doesn't seem a lot different from yesterday. But they're wearing out the equipment, so repairs are going on. So I guess we've got bricks being loaded on the wheelbarrow to bring over for fencing. Other wheelbarrows being used to take scrap wood out to stack on that pile. Kana's carrying out the longer bamboo pieces on his shoulder. He'll be looking to use those later to do some house repairs. And we have a wheelbarrow full of buckets, presumably for mortar for bricklaying. And there's some work being done up top. And more reinforcement cages being built over in the parking area. The wall building is progressing at the back. I have seen some video from Azra's camera showing that the walls are tiled in the tanks now up to the top, as I had hoped. So it's the after lunch circuit. So I've cleaned up the gravel, and now they're working on the sand, or the last of the sand. So then it'll have to be rocks and rocky fill again, because they can't get anything else in here till that's cleared up a bit. Interesting that on the inner side of the wall for the verticals there, they've decided to use brickwork. I wonder whether they'll do the same on the outside, or whether they'll just leave that as formwork. Oh well, got lots of bricks, so why not? So So still working on sections down the other end. It's interesting to me how much of this front main gutter is outboard of the columns, but there's insulation coming across, not insulation, reinforcement coming across from the those sloping beams, tying it back to the front wall, so I guess it's not going to fall over. So there we are from the other angle. I guess I don't know why they've left that one undone yet. I was going to say it was so they could get backwards and forwards to this side, but they can always go around the end. And there's still refining work going on up the top. I do know that my step ladder that's in there is going to need a lot of concrete removed before I can take that back inside. There's a bit of an air pollution problem here as they burn off the rice straw. Might discourage mosquitoes from close vicinity. And there's the tank on top of the tank stand. So 520 litre. So half a tonne lighter than the ones on our tank stand when it's full of water. Shed because Jabida wouldn't let me climb a ladder that high, but my present business at the south side of the building, rain gutter. So he's walking to the west currently. Hopefully that's a large enough hole for the water to pour through. I guess if it gets deep enough in that trough, it'll so you can see the bits of D-channel top of the so walking along the west wall of the building. Here you can see the finishing touches being applied to the gutter along the north side of the building. Well, it's the evening walk around. Looks like they've cleaned up all the sand, almost. So I don't know what they're going to move tomorrow. Previous clip, that was captured off the screen by some screen capture software I have on the PC, but it makes perfectly good recordings. But when I edit those together with the recordings from the camera, the screen capture stuff gets entire words dropped out of the audio. I don't understand why, but that's what happens. That's why the audio is not quite right on that previous clip. Sorry about that. Well, I've filled up the forms for the verticals with concrete, and only put the bricks on this side and just forms on the other side. So let's see how far they've gone with that. Okay. Well, I'm here, so let's go and see if we can have a look down the back. Looks like more rock is being transported out here. For the uprights, they didn't actually get down to the end. They must have just got part way along the back of the building. And kind of see what's different inside. Well, there you go. It's mostly emptied out now. There's just the one beam that's still propped up. A little bit of formwork left at the end there. These diagonals are still propped up. I'm sure that'll come down soon when they're finished doing that front guttering, which has got a little bit to go by the look of it. They got rendering to do on this side of the water gutter. I suspect it's not going to look quite so big an area when we've got a roof on it. So we've got the depth bars for the render all along the front here now. So that'll happen over the next day or two. Might look pretty after that. Well, it's the morning walk around. It's shortly after 9, and I can see a whole bunch of big rocks have been moved from here. And there's obviously quite a bit more to be moved. Work will continue, I'm sure. So formwork is being removed out the front here now. Scaffolding. So more and more of the building's being revealed. And the rendering is going on as expected. I wonder what they're doing up the top. I don't know whether that's the first or second mix this morning. I heard the machine running earlier. They liked it tool, that's one I bought from Melbourne. There's another one of those drainage canals to be built along the front edge here yet. From where that drain pipe goes down and comes out here. Across the end of the tank and down the side to join up with the main canal. And they're rearranging rocks, it seems. Not a lot of wall building left to be done. The scaffolding that's removed doesn't seem to have the nails taken out of it, as a matter of course, which is a bit disturbing. So, yeah, don't go anywhere near those bits of wood because they're dangerous. And it looks like the rock is extending further across towards the backhoe all the time. So once we can safely take the mixer off the CTL, we'll then be able to go and collect that and put it somewhere less boggy. So now they're tidying up the top of that concrete by the look of it. Just clamp on the metal bits at the side as a form. And there's Ezra. Yeah, well, I think I should take this video away and edit it down and do another upload. So, bit of work to be done in here yet. That's where the toilet's going to be. The hand basin over here. It might have to be diagonal in the corner. This doorway will get narrowed down a bit yet. But yeah, that's where we're at.